Good morning and happy Tuesday, everybody. Let's see. Let's get to my low, my high, my act of kindness. Well, nothing particularly bad happened yesterday. Not that I can recall. I mean, it definitely kind of felt like a Monday. I know that. And honestly, there was a Zoom meeting I had to attend that did make me a little nervous because I kind of forgot what the Zoom meeting was going to be about. But actually, the Zoom meeting wound up being my high for the day, actually. So, crazy. My low, the day did seem kind of long. Up until it was like early evening, everything just seemed kind of mundane and boring. Actually, I mentioned the Zoom meeting. I got a surprise visit from my nephews. I'm like, hey. It's great seeing my nephews. I mean, admittedly, I really could do a better job of showing it, but every single day, I am thankful that I am an uncle. In fact, I want to state on camera that those boys are the reason why I wake up in the morning. So, I mean, I don't really show it that often, and yeah, I will and I could do a better job of that, but they're the reason why. Let's see. My act of kindness was, helping my brother watch my nephews. I also emptied the dehumidifier for my dad. That's really about it. Pretty mundane evening. A mundane Monday. Cool. Okay, so you're gonna find this funny. I thought I had something to talk about today, but then I really didn't. And then it hit me. It's been like a really long time since I've done a Mom Food Chronicle. And I mean, I've been trying to keep them sporadic because it's one of those ongoing series that I kind of want to end, even though at some point it has to. But a friend of mine last night, who's like a mom of 4, is about to start the soccer with her kids, and she was asking for a slow cooker, crock pot recipes. And so I gave her some ideas. In the past, a lot of the Mom Food Chronicles I have talked about have involved being made in the crock pot. Pot roast, whole chicken, white chicken chili, chicken Marengo, ham in the crock pot, split pea soup from the leftover ham. So I've definitely done my fair share of crock pot recipes. But it's funny, the Mom Food Chronicle I really have thought about talking about is nothing to do with the crock pot at all. In fact, it was going to be about breakfast. Okay, so full disclosure, when I was born, I actually had no idea that my late grandfather on my mother's side had already gotten divorced and remarried. Like, the woman that my grandfather was with, that was my grandma, and I didn't really know the difference. And now, she's referred to as my ex-step-grandma. Long story. Point is, it was that woman who actually taught me my very first recipe ever. Which is very interesting because I really wouldn't try making it on my own until 9 years later. Actually, no. I'm wrong. 19 years later. Excuse me. It was that long. So, what is it? Straight up, my grandma taught me how to make French toast. I'm being serious, because whenever we were up at my grandfather's cottage up at Cuticle Lake, because my grandfather had a cottage up there too. Sadly, I never did do a video up there. There was a lot of stuff going on. Don't want to get into it. Point is, you guys saw that entire week I was on vacation, I was up at Cuticle Lake. When I was growing up, we would spend our entire vacation up at the lake, but it would be at my grandfather's cottage, later house, because when he retired, he rebuilt it so he could live up there year round. It was a very beautiful place. And one of the only places on the west side of the lake with really decent parking. So, that entire week we would spend at my grandfather's cottage. And it wouldn't just be my family and I either. It'd be pretty much the entirety of my mom's side of the family. Like, her brother and her two sisters and their respective families. Altogether, you had about 4, 8, 12, 15... At least 16 people, give or take. So, it was a pretty big place. But, literally the year before my grandfather and who I thought was my original grandmother got divorced, my grandmother had taught me how to make French toast, which was actually a recipe that my grandfather taught her when they got married, but she taught me, and so, I learned. And I remember growing up, I loved French toast. I thought French toast was like the height of breakfast, breakfast mountain or something like that. I couldn't think of a better analogy. But the point is, I really liked it. And don't get me wrong, I like pancakes, I like waffles, and they'll be getting their Mom Food Chronicle soon. And what's funny is, the recipe for French toast really was simple. Like, about as simple as you could hope for. Actually, if I can recall, it was 6 ingredients. 7 if you include putting butter on your pan before you put the toast on. And, I remember the smell, the taste, and, it was just so good. And, okay, you know what? I just realized something. I said that it'd be 19 years when I tried making it myself. That's not true. I did make it a couple times, but there was a huge gap in between the last time I made it myself and the time before that. I don't think I was even 12 years old when I made it last time I was a kid, and I was 27 when I actually made the recipe myself. So, again, that's a pretty long gap. But the point is, to this day, I still remember the recipe. I don't want to give it away, just because every French toast recipe is just about different. And there are some modern practices today that technically they do fly, but they won't provide the best French toast or whatever. I think the night before you're supposed to make your bread stale before you make your French toast. Yeah, we didn't do that. But, we didn't know. This is in the years before you had, the internet and social media. We couldn't have known that. A lot of the recipes that my grandfather invented, there's one that I do want to talk about, and it's actually going to be the one I say for second to last, that he made completely by accident. But again, I'll get to that when we get to that. So, fast forward to when I'm age 27. And we're up at my family's cottage, if you believe, my father's side. And it was my parents and I, my brother, his wife, because they had only just been married about a year, and her parents and the rest of her family. And my mom had brought up 2 loaves of zucchini bread, which would be the last time before 2022 that she made zucchini bread. Which reminds me, it's been about 2 years since she's last made it, so yeah, it's funny. She makes zucchini bread in 2017, and it's like 2022 when she makes it again. It's 2024 now. I'm going to make sure it's not another 5 years before she makes it again. Point is, my mom brought zucchini bread, and I don't know what had occurred to me to do this, but I thought, you know what? I'll make this zucchini bread even better. So I took that French toast recipe that my grandmother had taught me all those years ago. I sliced the zucchini bread and I made French toast with that. And this was straight fire. What's even better is it was from that moment I figured out that virtually any quote-unquote bread you can make into a French toast. Later, I would then try doing the same thing with banana nut bread. And not only does it work, but I also got the idea to put peanut butter and maple syrup in the microwave and stir it up. Basically, because if anyone knows Elvis Presley, you know his thing was peanut butter and banana sandwiches. And that's what I did. I made an elevated peanut butter and banana sandwich. I called it King Toast because Elvis was the king of rock and roll, and I essentially peanut butter and banana sandwiches thing, so King Toast seemed appropriate. The last time I made anything French toast related was actually King Toast. And it was, you know what? It was Mother's Day 2020. I believe that was it. Yeah, Mother's Day 2020. Wait, was it? Shoot. Either it was Mother's Day 2020 or Mother's Day 2021. Or wait, maybe it was a birthday. Shoot. No, wait. I do believe it was a birthday. Because I just moved out and for whatever, because her birthday was on a Sunday. And they had to go to church that Sunday morning. I forget what the reason was, why. And so when they were gone, I went to their house, made her, king. No, you know what? It was Mother's Day. I'm looking back on it now. It was Mother's Day I did this. Mother's Day. Yeah, Mother's Day. No, it was Mother's Day 2019. No, it wasn't. I mean, I did do it Mother's Day 2019, but that's not the last time I made it. Yeah, I think it was Mother's Day 2020. Because, yeah, it was in the middle of the pandemic, but things were starting to light up a little bit so we could actually go out and do some things. And one of those things was going to church. So I was able to, when they were out in church, I snuck into their home and made them King Toast. And, well, it was my mom, because, it was Mother's Day. So that's what I did. And it was very good. I mean, this recipe for French toast is so incredibly, I would say it's completely idiot-proof, but let's be honest, there's always going to be somebody out there that thinks they can elevate it by adding more or doing less. So, I mean, I don't want to give the recipe away just because I don't know what could become of it if I did. But just know that it really is about as simple and straightforward as you can hope for. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if there's any French toast aficionados that could figure out what it is just on its own. I mean, I already gave you a hint, including the butter used to put on the flat top to cook it. It's literally like 7 ingredients. And chances are they're all ingredients you have in your home already. So it's easily accessible. I never did try it with the whole stale bread thing, just because, I mean, I grew up in a very conservative household that's very set in their ways when it comes to stuff like this. And again, this was taught to me years before social media existed. Like, the internet was still in its infancy, pretty much, if that. So, again, it'd be the sort of thing where if I were to give this to anyone, they would enjoy it, whether they were like a professional chef or not. However, if they knew how it was made, it would go against like pretty much everything you've seen and heard on the internet, or if you're a chef, probably in culinary school. But yeah, French toast. You know, again, I'm sorry it takes me so long to do these videos. I really am. Just simply because, for all intents and purposes, there's still quite a few mom foods I haven't talked about yet. But a part of me is like, the more I talk about them, and, you know, the more stuff I talk about, one day this series will be over. But I am going to try and do better in regards to, you know, Mom Food Chronicles and how long it takes in between to do them. Because I do like talking. They're actually some of my favorite videos I've ever done, actually. So, take that for what it's worth. You know, French toast. I mean, if you really do want the recipe, I mean, I guess if you were to ask me privately, I could give it to you. Just be sure to, do whatever it is you want to do with it, I guess. I hope you like this video. If you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow social media. As always, I'm your home news video for all you guys who watch your video. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And remember, if you guys want to talk, channel is here to lend me. Always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.